just want to make sure you didn't want to speak up first. So, um, as I actually I taught a class on Sunday for Jess's group, the IKC Eye Clinic. And I was really struggling that morning to figure out how to make yoga feel important in this moment when everything else that's going on, it's it just doesn't feel that important. So I went back to the root of what yoga is really about and thought about it, and it's the primary function and the reason we purpose or the reason we practice yoga is awareness and to make the unconscious conscious. And we do that by practicing it in our body and linking breath with movement. So um, that's kind of like that's what I want us to think about today is how do we make the unconscious conscious and how can we use this hour to become aware of the patterns of thought that exist in the conditions of our mind and what are the filters through which we see the world that can in some ways shade or limit our ability to see things clearly. So that's my ask today is just use this time to observe your mind and become aware of the patterns of thought that exist. What we don't observe controls us, or what the patterns that stay unconscious in our mind control us. So let's use this time to wake up to our own patterns, whatever they may be. And maybe that's how we can allow this time to also serve us on and off the mat and stand up in ways that matter for ourselves and the people around us. So sorry, kind of stumbling around that, but we'll just get moving here. Okay, I did make a playlist, so you can feel free to play that if you would like. And we're going to, like I said, start standing up. So go ahead, rise to the top of your mat. We'll come to feet underneath your hips. Take your hands to your heart. Close down your eyes. Rock back and forth from the front of your foot to the back. Start to feel what the earth below your feet feels like. Shift weight from one side of the foot to the other. Then make your way to center, finding a position that feels fortified and solid so you can really stand your ground. Let's open with 3 conscious breaths together. Draw a breath in, focus your energy coming up through your feet all the way to the crown of your head. And exhale, release everything back into the space around you. Inhale, expand your lungs. And exhale, release. Last time, breath is intentional but not forced as you draw in. Exhale, controlled as you release. Keep your eyes closed and bring your fingertips to the space between your eyes. Your gaze turns down somewhat. This space between your eyes is known as your Sthapani Marma point. It's our place for insight, clarity, and vision that allows us to see our path more clearly in the world. By igniting our internal fire, we're able to ignite our own intuition, creativity, and courage. So take a moment, bring your hands back to heart center, set an intention for yourself or perhaps someone else today. And release your hands. We'll add some movement into our breath. Press down into your feet. Inhale your arms out and up. Exhale slowly as you draw through your midline. Inhale your hands out, draw oxygen into your lungs. Exhale back out. One more time, really visualize your intention. Breathe your arms out. Exhale, pull everything into center. This time we'll breathe out and up. Inhale, press down into your feet, reach up through the crown of your head. Exhale, swan dive forward, spine long, hands come all the way down to the earth. Inhale, pull your hands up towards your knees, lengthen out halfway. Exhale, fold. With a long spine, reach your heart forward, bent knees to help you stand. Exhale, hands back through middle. Let's do that again. Press down, arms reach up over your head. Exhale, heart reaches forward, hips back, swan dive, stretch the backs of your legs. Chin tuck, strong back, come up halfway, shift the weight towards your toes. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms out. Exhale through center. One more. Inhale, reach up and out. Exhale, dive forward. Look back behind you. And then inhale, halfway up, shoulders loop. Exhale, fold, and we'll head back to downward dog. In downward dog, bend one knee and then the other. Start to move around in a way that you're just able to observe how your body is feeling today without criticism or saying, oh, I feel so tight today. Just observe without judgment. Maybe take your heels from side to side. A little side body stretch feels really good in my opinion. Oh, and then we'll come back to the middle. So we're in downward dog. Reach your hips back and up. Heels energetically moving towards the earth. And I strongly encourage a slight bend in your knees. Hands press down and forward. Hips reach in the opposite direction. And your crown of your head reaches for the space between your hands. Press your hands together a lot so you feel your shoulders stabilize. Now inhale your heels over your toes, tuck your chin, and roll forward into plank. Arrive in plank where your shoulders are over your wrist. Maybe you need to link them back out. It might tell you that your downward dog was a little short. Then inhale, lift your hips. Come back into downward dog. Let's feel that a couple more times. Lift your heels, move fluidly as you roll into plank. Reach from the crown of your head out through your heels. Again, lift strong center. Exhale, settle your heels, stretch your way into downward dog. Inhale, spinal articulation, lift from the space behind your heart as you roll forward. Arrive in plank with strength. Pull your belly button up towards your spine. Press the earth away. Reach your sternum forward, heels back. Observe and savor your strength. Now slowly, first pull your knees up towards your hips without moving your legs. So you strengthen your legs. And then elbows point back. Use your legs as brakes on your way down to the earth. Whole body hits the mat at the same time. 3 cobras of increasing expansion. First step, press the tops of your feet down, knees lift, shoulders loop. Will come up just a wee bit, and exhale, release. Again, shoulders loop, keep the back of your neck long, use your back muscles to lift, and then soften. One more, shoulders loop, use your back, and then use your hands, come up higher, open the front gates, gaze from side to side, keep pressing the tops of your feet down and back, and then release all the way back to the mat. Hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, navel to spine, and then through plank or knee plank, back to downward dog. Let's take 3 cleansing breaths. Deep inhale and exhale out your mouth. Again, breathe in deeply. Stick your tongue out and last one, louder than the first 2. Now inhale and then reach your right leg back out through your heel. Exhale, draw your knee in towards your chest, lift from center, shift forward, and place your right foot next to your right thumb. Ground your back heel, so you're in heel to heel alignment. Thumbs forward, hands sweep down, forward and up. We start in warrior 1, simple. Oh, hey, Frank. Exhale, hands through center, long spine as you come back down to the mat. Seal your palms, step back with control into plank, and let's take 4 counts to lower down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Tops of fingers press down, tops of feet press down, shoulders loop, reach your heart forward and soften. Hands back under your shoulders, toes tuck, strong and patient as you rise, and then back to downward dog. Inhale, left leg lifts, reach from heel to the crown of your head. Exhale, hug your knee in towards your chest, shift forward, left foot to left thumb. Ground your back heel, heel to arch alignment again, or heel to heel alignment. And then hands sweep forward, inhale up into Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Exhale, dive forward. Seal your palms, square your hips, and step into plank. 4 counts. 4, 3, 2, 1. Tops of feet press down, shoulders loop, collarbones broaden, and melt to the mat. Tuck your toes or come up through knee plank. Let's take 4 counts. 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to downward dog. Inhale, reach your right leg back. Exhale, knee to center, lift and shift. Get the cat hair out of your mouth. Ground your back heel. Sweep your hands forward, and now follow me. We're going to add on this time. Walk your right foot to the middle so your heel to arch, and then turn open, bend your front knee, settle in to warrior 2. Flip your front palm, inhale into reverse warrior, and then exhale, hands down to the mat. Palms seal, hips square, again with control into plank, and then with stability and patience, take 4 counts until you land. Tops of feet anchor, shoulders loop, heart and feet move in opposite directions. And then hands come back under your shoulders, toes tuck, stay stable, patiently, slowly savor your strength back through plank to downward dog. Left side, heel to crown stretch. Exhale, knee to center. Use your strong core to shift forward, foot to thumb. Back heel lowers. Inhale up into warrior one first. Walk your foot to the center. Exhale, grounding energy. Turn your shoulders open to the right. Flip your front palm. Right hand comes down your right leg. Left hand reaches up and over. And then exhale, both hands back down to the mat. Control and strength on your way back to plank. And then 4, 3, 2, 1, down to the mat. Loop your shoulders. Peel away from the earth. Melt back into it. And then with resilience, come back up 4, 3, 2, 1, downward dog. Last round, right side. Reach back and up. Exhale, knee to chest. Lift as you come forward, foot to thumb. Left heel grounds. Inhale, warrior one. Arms over your head. Exhale, hips open, shoulders open. Press the energy down. Reach your right palm out and up. Expand across your right side, open. And then cycle your arms back to the earth, palms sealed. Step into plank. Draw navel to spine, resist gravity, and settle. Tops of feet anchor, shoulders loop. Heart opens as you rise. Come up for a breath of fresh air. 4 counts to come back up. 4, 3, 2, 1. And downward dog. Last time on the left side. Inhale, left leg back. Knee to chest, lift as you come forward. Left foot to thumb. Back heel to the mat. Sweep your arms forward and up. And then walk your foot to the center. Open your shoulders and hips. Grounding energy. Flip your front hand expansive. Come back into reverse. And then both hands come towards the mat, hips square with control, foot to left to right. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Find fluidity and ease. Melt back down. And then let's come into child's pose. Hips to heels. Knees can be wide or together. Take a moment with your head either on your hands or on the mat to observe your mind. Become aware of the patterns of thought. Mindfulness in yoga is the constant practice of observing, noting, waking up over and over and over again. And from child's pose, we'll come into all fours, move our feet to the side, and shift on back. Oh, I don't know who this is. I don't know if this is Tammy. Tammy is our friend. Every once in a while, she makes an appearance when a time feels right, when she feels called to. Apparently, she feels called to right now. So go ahead and lean on back. If you've got your shirt tied behind you, you might want to undo it. Alrighty. And then you'll cross your left foot over your right. So you've got a kind of like a pigeon on your back situation happening here. And we'll first kind of stretch our way into our core. Take your knee in towards your chest, interlace your hands behind your hamstring and pull this whole structure in towards your center. So your upper back is still flat on the earth. Just enjoy the outer hip stretch at first, and then we'll add a little bit of heat to it here shortly. All right, as promised, it was really short. Take your hands behind your head. Keep your gaze up towards the ceiling and lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Now, right shin comes parallel with the mat. On an inhale, press your right foot out, lower head, neck, and shoulders halfway down. Exhale, draw everything back into center. Lift your heart, lift your lower hips, or your hips, I guess, just a little bit as you come in. Inhale, press everything back out like you're really pressing something away. Exhale, draw everything back to center and lift your shoulders off the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw into center. Gaze up, lift up. Inhale out. Exhale, draw everything in towards your chest. Lift your heart a little more. And then press. And then pulse. So you've got your knee coming forward just a little bit as you are here. So it's just these tiny little pulses. And you're going to feel some heat, and that's okay. This is where change starts to happen. When things get uncomfortable, that's what we're looking for. And then gently release your right foot. You can release your head to the mat. Keep your arms. Actually, let's stretch your arms out to the side. And then take this whole structure over to the right. So your left foot is on the earth, and you've twisted the outside of your right leg is on the earth too. Grab a hold of your left foot with your right hand and reach your left arm out along your side, palm up. So this is kind of a nice counter stretch. You don't need to press your left knee anywhere. Just sit with it as is. Maybe feel this in your lower back. It's just a little spinal twist. And then we'll come back through center. Change the cross of your legs. And place your right ankle on your left thigh. Like before, we'll start with a hip stretch. Pull your left knee in towards your chest. Stretch your outer right hip this time. Keep your right foot flexed, but you can let your left leg dangle. Check into your shoulders. Make sure that there's no extra tension popping up there or in your forehead and jaw. It's always interesting to see how when we're feeling tension in our hip or somewhere else, for some reason we feel like we have to emote that tension with our facial features, as if that will help change the situation in any way. All right, and again, time to add just a little coal to the fire. Take your hands behind your head, lift head, neck, and shoulders, gaze towards the ceiling. Inhale, press your left leg out with strength. Exhale, draw in with courage. Lift your heart, lift your shoulders away from the mat. Inhale, press out. Exhale, knee to chest, gazes up. Lift your hips as you come to center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to chest, heart lifts up. Inhale, press your left foot out. Keep your right foot flexed. Exhale, draw everything into center and hold for our pulses. So you're just pressing your left knee in towards your chest, keeping your heart lifted as high as you can so you feel some heat. You feel the kind of tension that makes you stronger rather than taking energy away. Some tensions actually hold us together, and some tensions are completely unnecessary. So this is a way that we're strengthening a tension that helps us fortify from center. All right, last little breath here, and then release your left foot. Reach your right arm out from your right shoulder, and then turn your whole lower body, keeping the figure four, to the earth. So your right foot is now flat. Grab a hold of your right foot with your left hand. You can maybe make some little adjustments and just notice how your body feels. Shorten the distance between body and mind by observing where in your body do you feel this the most. And just being open to whatever arises. One more breath here. And come back into center. Release both feet to the mat. Reach your arms over your head in soft parentheses so you're bent to your elbows. And make your feet as wide as your mat if they're not already. And then take your knees slowly from side to side. Stretch the front of your hips. Relax your lower back. And then come back into center. We'll roll to our sides and through hands and knees. Press yourself up into downward dog. And then walk your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale up halfway, reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale, fold, bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands to the earth. Inhale, lengthen out, weight towards the front of your foot. Exhale, fold. This time we'll come to standing, bend your knees a lot, sweep your heart forward. Inhale, lift your arms above your head. Exhale, hands through center. Get your pants adjusted. Pick any wedgies necessary. Yes, you're welcome for that imagery while you're in yoga. Yes, very thoughtful classes with Penny. Hands at your heart. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. And again, notice any shifts in energy. Then bring your hands to your hips. So from here, shift the weight into your left foot, come up into your right toes, and turn out from your right hip. So you're in sassy person pose. And then you'll bring the inside of your right foot either to the inside of your left calf, so below your knee, or with an assist from your hand above your knee. Oop. Then bring your hands back to heart. Draw your navel into your spine, fortify from center. And then press foot into thigh and thigh back into foot. Whoa. If you fall out like that, then it's very easy to just stand up again. So this is tree pose. And again, I really want you to feel the tension that holds you together by pressing your leg into foot and foot into leg. But once you feel stable, lift your arms, Turn your pinkies in towards each other so your palms are starting to rotate behind you. Thumbs on or out. I know you can't see my hands here. And then grow tall, stand up, press into your grounded foot, and reach up through the crown of your head. And while we are not together, we all are standing tall, like beautiful trees, unified in purpose, if not proximity. And bring your hands back through center, hands to your hips. Ground your right foot. We'll take some, maybe widen your stance. We'll take some hip circles here, some hip circles. Again, this is always my favorite. Feel free to add a little flair as you'd like. Sure makes it a lot more fun. And then we'll do the other side. Hands to your hips, shift to your right foot, heel lifts, turn out from your left hip, sassy, and then sole of your left foot to your calf, or grab your foot, place it above your knee, and then pull everything into center. Press your foot into your thigh, thigh back into foot. Focus on your breath. Bring your hands to center and notice where your thoughts go. It gets a lot harder to balance when you're not focused on your breath. And reach your hands above you when you're ready. Turn your pinkies towards each other, thumbs out. Broaden across your collarbones and draw your lower ribs in so you feel fortified through your core. Reach up through the crown of your head and press down through your foot. Hands together through midline. Take your hands to your hips. Release your left foot. And then again, find some hip circles, go both directions. And then come back to center. Inhale, press down into the earth. Reach your arms over your head. Exhale, hands through center. And then go all the way down into downward dog. I'm going to take just a moment to mute my notifications because that's happened a couple times now. I'm sorry. So in downward dog, just take a couple of breaths. Deep inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale, release. Okay, it's not letting me do anything right now, so we're just going to keep. All right, inhale your right leg back and up. Press your right leg up to the sky and press your left heel down towards the mat. Bend at your right knee. Square your shoulders off to the front of the mat and keep the left side of your body long. This will feel different than if you turn open too far, you start to crunch your left side and you've turned it into a back bend rather than a hip opener, which isn't bad, it's just different. And now one more, inhale. Exhale your knee through center, lift from center, shift forward, and place your right foot between your hands. Ground your back heel, so your heel to arch alignment, and follow your left hand up and over for warrior two. Let's run through some of the fundamentals here. Arms are really active and strong, so if somebody were to come and press on them, they would feel sturdy. Your front knee tracks over the front of your foot, which means you're pressing it towards the outside of your front foot. Maybe that means you have to slightly angle your hips towards the top left corner of your mat, but then shoulders stay perfectly square to the left side of the mat, even though your hips are slightly angled to the front. Okay, that's a lot. So now let's add some mindful movement. On your exhale, pull your hands in towards your heart. Draw everything into center. Inhale, reach out. Expand through all four sides of your rib cage. Exhale, draw into center. Keep the bend in your front knee. Inhale, pull out from heart to fingertips. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, expand, and this time we'll hold with our arms out wide. Engage your back leg by pulling your knee up towards your hip, and then flip your front palm. Take your back hand down your back leg, come into one breath in reverse warrior, bend your front knee as you come up and over. Keep the length in your right side, and then we'll come forward into side angle pose. Press your right elbow on the inside of your right knee, not on top, on the inside. So you're using it to turn your ribs back, your left ribs back, not to support your weight. Take your left hand alongside you here, and then sweep your left arm from your side, like you're slicing forward and up, and then your left pinky turns down. I know that your right leg is singing right now because mine is too, but I also know how strong you are. We won't be here forever. It'll just be a couple more minutes, so sit in your strength. Keep breathing. One more inhale, exhale, and then let's come back to warrior two just for a moment. Straighten your front leg. Oh, finally. Turn your toes in towards each other. Inhale, reach your arms out, expand across your collarbones. And then exhale, dive forward, slightly bent knees, hands come all the way down towards the earth. Pivot your hands towards the front of the mat. Step back into plank. Press into your fingertips. Elbows point back and lower all the way down to the earth. Tops of feet anchor. Shoulders loop. Heart opener. And then soften. Hands back under your shoulders, toes tucked. Knees lift, navel lifts, and then press up through plank to downward dog. Left leg, inhale. Reach your left leg back as high as you can. Let your hips open. Find liberation and freedom here. Right heel presses down. Bend at your knee if it feels okay for you. And again, like we talked about, square your shoulders and lengthen your right side, even if it means that you feel like your left knee needs to turn down a little bit. That's okay, because we want the open hip here for today more than we do the back bend. One more inhale. And then exhale slowly. Hug your knee into center. Lift from center. Shift forward. And place your left foot right between your hands underneath your nose. Ground your back heel so your heel to arch alignment, setting up for Vrksasana 2. And follow your right hand up and over. Settling into warrior 2, press both feet down and apart. Really secure the outer edge of your back foot into the mat. And then activate this leg again by pulling your knee up so you've got the support of both of your feet rather than the front one. Your hips are low, crown of your head reaching up. Now on your exhale, hands pull into midline just like before. Maybe close down your eyes. Inhale, breathe, open. Exhale, contain. Inhale, cycle back out, expand. So we're in this constant cycle of drawing in and opening back up. One more time, exhale, breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, reach your arms out. Keep your arms long and strong. Flip your front hand. Keep your front knee bent as you find one breath in reverse warrior two. Big expanse. Breathe into your left side. Keep the length. Exhale, come forward. Left elbow on the inside of left knee. Press your elbow into your knee. Manually roll your right ribs back. Get a little self-adjustment there. Take your right hand along your right side. And then slice your arm across the horizon, up and over your head. Pinky rolls down. Keep your back leg active. Press into the outer edge of your back foot and activate your inner leg muscles by pulling your knee up. Shoulders open. And then as it starts to sing, just pay attention to the whole aperture of what's happening right now. It's not just this leg that's working, there's a whole structure here. What are the stories that come up when we're faced with these difficult moments? This is where our courage is strengthened. One more breath in. Exhale, release. We'll come back to warrior two. That's the hardest part. Straighten your front leg. Turn your toes in towards each other. Let's interlace our hands behind us this time. Knuckles reach down. Heart lifts. Keep the back of your neck long. Knees bend. And then dive forward. Arms come up and over. Relax your head. Shake it out. Shift the weight towards the front of your feet. And then release your hands to the mat. Pivot towards the front of your mat. Hands over your shoulders. Step back into plank. Find your strength and patience and control. Elbows brush your ribs as you lower all the way down. Balance the structure with ease. Shoulders loop. Reach your heart forward and then soften back down. Hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes, knees lift. Press up through plank to downward dog. And walk your feet to the front of the mat. With bent knees, come up to standing. And exhale, hands through center. So to make our tree pose a little more interesting for our last krama here, we'll close down our eyes. You'll see it's a whole new set of challenges when we just take sight away. So I'm excited for everyone to try this because it's quite thrilling. I wish I could see you all. All right, feet underneath your hips, shift into your left leg, right heel over your toes, turn out from your hip. And then find the appropriate place for your foot today. We're gonna start just with hands at heart center, fortify, so press leg into foot, foot into leg. Draw navel to spine and lower ribs draw in. Collarbones broaden. Now keep pressing your hands toward each other. Feel the stability that's within you. Focus on your breath. And then try fluttering your eyes closed. Maybe you close them all the way. Maybe it's just a flutter. Keep your attention on your breath. Just give it a shot. What's it like when you take one of your senses away? If you fall back out, you can come back into it. Let's give it a couple more breaths. And then gently release your right foot to the earth. Bring your hands to your hips, and let's roll out your left ankle there. So you can go over the top. And then let's go back the other direction. And feet back underneath our hips for the other side. Shift weight into your right foot. Lift your left heel, turn out. Sole of foot to calf or inside of right thigh. Draw everything into center. Careful that you're not pressing up too much through your right hip, so keep everything, oop, oop. Yep. So keep everything drawn into center. Core strong. Press your hands together. Find stability before you start trying to add in another obstacle. Draw navel to spine, stabilize from your core. And then first find your breath. Anchor into your breath. And then experiment with fluttering your eyes open and closed. Maybe you just close one eye. Look like you're having a stroke like I do right now. If you fall out, just come back into it. Stand strong, even when there's turbulence. And then lower your left foot down when you're ready. And we'll roll out our right ankle. Go both directions. Come back to standing. Breathe your arms out and up. And then we'll exhale, dive forward. Hands come down, hips come down. And we'll make our way all the way to the earth. Roll back to a flat back on the mat. We'll take 2 rounds of bridge pose from here. We haven't done a lot to open up for full wheel, so I won't be offering that today unless you're like, I need it, I want it. In that case, power to you. So today, let's really focus on keeping our knees in line with our hips as we come up rather than letting them flare out. First step, we'll all do this version together. Bend at your elbows, fingertips point up. Press down into your feet. Press your shins forward. Lift your hips. And then roll your shoulders underneath you to create space behind your heart. Then you'll be able to illuminate this structure a little better, create a little bit more lift of your hips. Knees stay in line with hips and shoulders. And there's space between your chin and your chest. Breathe into the expansion. And then release your hips. We'll do one more round after we take just a breath or two on the earth. So you have the option of the same version again, or we'll clasp hands underneath. So starting with the elbows, hands up, press down into your feet, shins press forward, hips lift, and then maybe interlace your hands underneath you. Roll your shoulders underneath. Keep the back of your neck safe by keeping space between chin and chest. Knees in line with hips. And lengthen the front of your body. And breathe. Exhale, release your hips down. Draw your knees in towards your chest. You can stay with your hands wrapped around your shins and rock gently from side to side, stretching your lower back. Or find happy baby with your ankles above your knees. Again, a gentle rock from side to side. Start to direct your attention to these places where your body meets the earth. Soften through your roots. If you're in happy baby, bring your knees back to your chest. Interlace your hands just for one more breath in Apanasana, seed pose, a position of rebirth. Then lengthen your legs out long. Coming into the position of rest and release. Let yourself sink into the space that exists between your thoughts. Without moving or opening your eyes, become aware of the space around you. Awaken your body by deepening your breath. Incorporate small movements with fingers and toes, gradually involving them to your wrists and ankles. Bend at your knees. Roll to one side. Use your bicep as a pillow. Become aware of the conditions of your mind and how they influence your response to the rest of the world. And use your strong top arm to press yourself up into a seated position at the top of your mat. Palms come together. Sit tall with dignity. Thank you so much for showing up for yourselves, for each other. And thank you to all the people who have made it possible for us to have this practice. May you and all living things be safe, be healthy, be happy, and live with strength and ease. Namaste.